Ah, Traveler, welcome. Good to see you. What?
We want some blackback perch stew.
All right, blackback perch stew it is. Make your.
Thanks, Chef Mac.
I was just thinking about you guys, and now you're here. It feels like you heard my call and came running.
You mean you were about to come looking for us?
Uh-huh. There's something I want to discuss with you guys. Did you happen to see how the city looked on the way over here? Everyone's getting ready for the Moon Chase Festival.
Moon Chase Festival? Is that another one?
And that's right. Moon Chase is a big festival where we celebrate the arrival of the fall by moonlight. But it's completely different nowadays. We eat our favorite foods, spend...
Sounds like Paimon's cut.
With your great taste in food, Moon Chase Festival is...
Hey, if you got...
So are you guys free these days? I'm taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs. If...
That's right. Getting some suggestions from friends will broaden...
Masterful Chefs, huh?
Right, yeah! I guess you probably haven't heard about it before. Every year, Moon Chase Festival has a different theme, usually picked by the Qixing.
Feast of the Bounteous Land.
I totally agree! I heard it was Ningguang that came up with it. She's so amazing. Well, I want to take part in the competition, but coming up with new dishes is hard. So, I was thinking... I could get the two...
This'll be a piece of cake!
You sound pretty
Well, you know. But first things first, let's have a delicious one.
Okay, great. Also, Golba should be back soon, so we...
Here's your blackback perch stew, folks.
It smells so...
It's my pleasure.
That was so delicious.
Xiangling can be a bit of a handful, so please look out for her while you're out and about.
Come on, Dad! Why would you say that?
Because I know you all too well, my dear, that's why. You mustn't be quite so reckless when you're out in the wild, you understand? You do well to be a little more cautious, like our traveler friend.
Don't worry, we're all friends here. Let's all look out for each other.
Ah, and Gloma's back, roly-poling around as usual.
All right, let's pack up and head out.
I think I may have...
So, it's outside the box thinking that we're looking for, right? Hutao always seems to have a unique perspective, so let's make this our first...
What? My ears are burning. Did somebody say... Yeah, it's Paimon and the Traveler. Oh, and Xiangling, too. Ah, of course, Hutao. Way outside the box. Meaning you're here for some other reason, right? Well, Hutao, I wanted to ask you what food I like. Off the top of my head, I don't really have an answer.
Wow, so even Hutao gets lost for words sometimes.
Come on, even the chirpiest birds clock out for the night, right? I'm no different.
Pretty sure clocking out isn't something birds do, but...
Right! There's no need to overcomplicate it. Just pick a dish and tell me what you like about it. I see. Launching a new dish? Well, let me say right off the bat, nothing weird, okay? Some poached fish, a side of shrimp dumplings. That is all you need. Poached fish and shrimp dumplings? Well, it is and it isn't. Think about it. Poached fish is hot and spicy with a powerful aroma. It's a dynamic dish. Add a side of shrimp dumplings, and there's your static component. Got it? Dynamic? Oh, I can do dynamic. No, not that kind of dynamic. A dish is more than substance. Shrimp dumplings are more subdued, clear and smooth with a pure and subtle fragrance. I call that static. Combining dynamic and static.
Paimon didn't follow that at all.
Okay.
So is this just another way of saying you should keep everything balanced?
Bingo! Except I don't think you need to have a sweet dish for it to...
Okay, I think I got it. How did I ever doubt? When it comes to telling tales, the storyteller...
Sounds suspiciously like... Uh-huh. Everything in this world runs on its own...
Since the Traveler seems to approve. Paimon thinks we're pretty much done here now.
Boo Boo Pharmacy? Yeah, you'll definitely get some interesting responses over there.
Oh, it's you. Why, if it isn't the special guests who seldom visit. Less busy than usual, I see. Yikes! Oh, what happened to Baishu's voice? Excuse me? The neck. Oh, it's just Changsheng.
Welcome, welcome. Here to procure an herbal remedy, I presume?
No. We actually came for the conversation. I'm entering this year's cooking competition, so I wanted to ask you both. Oh, wait, there's 3 of you. I wanted to ask... Most astutely self-corrected. We shall surely supply our assistance.
You need to know what food I like? It's all the same. No flavor.
Chi-Chi has some gustatory dysfunction and can't taste any food. Make no mistake, she's not being uncooperative.
Oh, I understand. That's fine. Still, I'd expect Chi-Chi to have some sort of dietary preference.
Sensation? Coconut milk. Nice and cold.
Well, that doesn't help us. It's not a dish. How about you two? Any thoughts? I like bite-sized morsels of meat.
I agree with Changsheng. Many of our patients are the elderly and young children. They find large chunks of fowl or seafood difficult to swallow and digest. Dishes where the ingredients have been finely chopped, on the other hand, are far more suitable for them. We also see plenty of people with colds and sore throats who find it difficult to eat rich food. From a purely pharmaceutical perspective, I tend to recommend soups and stews.
Got it. Would that be
Medicine.
I must apologize for having such a one-track mind. It's a little difficult to think about food without worrying about the health implications these days.
That's okay. Everyone's input counts. Medicinal dishes have higher demands in terms of...
Food with substance. Always better.
It's a great suggestion. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. As long as we could help.
It's great to have a doctor's unique perspective. I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, how you flatter me.
Receptivity to sensible suggestions make for a savvy chef. Oh, she is! Creating new dishes is Xiangling's favorite thing to do. You can be sure she'll put lots of... Everyone's got their hobbies, and mine is cooking. Great! That makes this whole trip worth it. All right, time to move on to the next. So we've got an independent thinker's perspective and a health perspective. Next, Paimon thinks we should probably talk to some picky eaters. But I don't want to.
Traveler and Paimon. And Xiangling.
Greetings, friends.
Hey, what brings you here?
Has something happened? What's with this great big stone on the ground?
Long story. So, just to confirm, I will assume responsibility for handling this stone of unknown origin. Any objection?
None here. You know how to get things done, Kuching. As long as it's with you, I can rest easy knowing that it's in safe hands.
Should I take this to mean that you doubt the relative safety of leaving this in the hands of the Tianquan?
Huh? Well, for starters, Kuching is the one who's always out running errands, rain or shine. Besides, you don't seem to give a wooden more about this whole thing anyway, so what's it to you?
I was merely joking. By no means. You wish to know about the stone, I presume. Then let me invite the great seafarer Captain Beto to tell the story, if she would be so kind.
You... Well, it's a big one, right? And such a smooth surface, too. Makes you think there's gotta be a good chunk of jade in there.
It was found by a fishing crew, not far off the coast. It must have been underwater for years, so the erosion will be what's given it that smooth finish.
Finds like this cannot be kept as private property, and must be submitted to a holder of public office.
So, what's in...
Well, we've hit it with just about every weapon we could get our hands on and haven't managed to even dent it yet. Clearly there's more to it than meets the eye.
No weapon could smash it open. Wow.
Kuching has taken an unusually keen interest in this giant stone, which is why...
Let's put that aside for a second. Traveler.
Actually, we were looking for all of you. We need...
Oh? Hopefully not because there's been some sort of cataclysmic event.
No, nothing like that. Paimon's just getting carried away. I just wanted to ask everyone about their food preferences.
Food preferences?
I have rather simple tastes. Precise, pure, smart, and sophisticated.
That's your idea of simple, huh?
I summed up my culinary requirements in 4 words. Is that insufficiently simple for you?
A few weeks out on the open ocean would fix your flawed definition of simplicity, let me tell you that.
What about you, Beto?
Me? If it's freshly cooked and piping hot, that floats my boat. If it's got a little chili pepper in there, too, I'm one very happy captain.
Paimon thought you would have said bar food.
Oh, bar food works, too.
As for me, it's got to be seafood.
Okay, got it. So, seafood, piping hot, and, simple but sophisticated. And that's where I would disagree. Traveler, surely you... Oh my, they're my favorite. You need to wash and devein the shrimp, wrap it in finely sliced potato strips, then deep fry it to perfection. They're very precisely put together. They taste pure, the presentation is smart, and the skill needed to cook them is highly sophisticated. It fits Ningguang's forward summary to the letter. Huh. So what you're saying is, for all the frills and trills, good food is all the same at the core?
I heartily agree. Golden shrimp balls are a prime example. Their essence lies in combining art and nutrition in a single package. It is a dish of true value.
Okay, got it. So, Kuching...
I didn't say that.
Alrighty. Thanks for all your input. I'll be sure to take it all into consideration.
Traveler, Paimon, do you have anything planned after this? Good. I'd like you to help me investigate something.
You picked the right people for the job.
My thoughts exactly. The Qixing has a public duty to deliver our final verdict to the fishermen, but there are also some things I would like to investigate on a personal level. I'm sure you've become acquainted with the general background of the Moonchase Festival. However, I have my own understanding of this festival's roots. My grandfather was a researcher of Liyue's traditions. In his notes, he indicated that there was a deity called the Stove God in ancient Liyue. Very few written records make mention of the Stove God, and those that do are notoriously confusing. Some scholars believe that the Stove God was just another title held by the Lord of Geo. One folktale even claims that the ancients found the Stove God's shrine, but there was no statue. Shortly after it was found, the stone was lost in transit, and it hasn't been seen since.
This stone here has all the same features, so I suspect it could be the one that went missing all those years ago. After many years of researching ancient texts, my grandfather came to believe that the practice of paying seasonal tribute to the stove god may be best described as a festival. He called it the Stove God Festival. That would make it the forerunner to the Moon Chase Festival we know today. But this is all just theory and conjecture. To prove any of it, we'd need to start by identifying who the stove god really was. Now that Rex Lapis has passed on, and Liwa has entered the age of humankind, his successors should continue to respect our nation's culture and traditions, just as he did. That's why I think the responsibility for this situation should fall to me. It's a chance to shed light on our history, revitalize an ancient tradition, and possibly prove my grandfather's hypothesis along the way. It was just a couple of days ago that we received this stone. Right after we decided to use food as the central theme for this year's festival. It makes me wonder. Maybe a divine will is at work behind all of this.
3 birds with 1 stone, huh? That's pretty efficient, even for cooking.
Hey, don't worry about that. Besides, we're only...
Wait a second.
I got it!
What? Why are you shouting?
Ka-ching, can I tag along for your investigation?
Uh-huh.
Since it's all about the stove god, I might get to learn something useful about cooking along. Please, let me come along.
If it means that much to you.
Really? Yay!
Now that that's settled, time to get going. Chingsa Village is said to be home to a lot of historical texts.
Alright, then it's off to Chingsa. We need your help with something. Are there any old books around Chingsa Village?
Oh, looking for ancient. There is an old warehouse over there.
The Feiyun Commerce Guild's youngest? You must be talking about Xingqiu.
Paimon didn't know they had a warehouse.
I'm being robbed!
It came from that direction. Come on.
Should replace my hammer.
I've come here to clean the book warehouse plenty of times before, but this is the first time I've run into these crooks.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks to all of you.
We'll try not to take up too much of your time.
The stove god?
Huh?
Yeah. A friend of mine who conducts research mentioned it once before. We use stoves for cooking, and stoves are built from rock. Some people think that the stove is a gift from the Lord of Geo. And that's why they call him the...
Seems logical, but do you have any...
Oh, any questions?
Hey, it's Chongyun and...
Hello, one and all.
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
I was bored with nothing to do, and thought I'd come out this way for a bit of reading. And then I thought, why not bring Chongyun along too?
Yes. I'm just along for the ride, really.
I see the Yuheng Kuching is with you. Whatever brings you here must surely be a matter of grave importance.
Master Xingqiu, if I may be so bold, do you happen to know if...
Since I personally selected which volumes to store here, I do have some recollection of... If my memory betrays me not, there is one volume among them called Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, which mentions the Stove God.
Might I take a look?
Certainly. If it pleases my lady, I shall lead the way.
They're back! So did you find it?
Yes, Master Xingqiu has quite an exceptional memory. Demystifying the legends of Liyue, it says the following. The body of the dragon wielded a tail that could eclipse the sun, and claws to command fire and teach the ways of wisdom. Receiving the gift bequeathed unto them, humankind cooked food with fire, and thus did they prosper.
The body of a dragon?
That much is true. But this is the only passage in the whole book. There's nothing further to discover here.
I come from a long lineage of exorcists, and our family too has amassed a number of ancient texts. Now that you mention the Stove God, I seem to recall reading somewhere that this god once appeared at the
Books are penned by people. I apologize that we could not help.
Your help thus far is quite ample. Liyue is a vast and rich land. Thank you all. We will continue our
Oh, hold up. I had a question too. Xingqiu...
Food? Oh no. You're not thinking of taking part in the Masterful Chefs, are you?
Yeah, I totally am. What?
Xiangling, this is a major event. I beg you, please don't cook anything strange for this competition.
What do you mean, strange?
Mushroom slime stew, to give one example.
Okay, fair enough. That dish isn't my most popular. But that's why I'm doing all this research. So...
Well, in that case, I like cold food.
That's because you can't handle hot and spicy, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
My tastes are on the mild side. I prefer gentle dishes with minimal seasoning. Soups and stews, vegetables and broth, seafood or freshwater fish, either boiled or steamed. These kinds of dishes I am most partial to.
No surprises. Okay, another mild child.
These are just personal preferences, and everyone's are quite different.
Of course. You're my customers, and putting...
Though Xiangling's market research blade stabs often into the dark, her heart never strays.
If anyone can win hearts and minds with their cooking, it's... No, where's all this praise coming? Sorry for holding you all up. That's all I needed to know. Shall we carry on with the investigation? Over to you,
So we've learned the Stove God allegedly made an appearance at the Guili Assembly. But today that place is largely a wasteland with few traces of human activity. Wangshu Inn is close by, so let's stop off there on...
Forgive us, for this is where we must part ways.
Yes, best of luck.
Let's go! Next...
Huh? Oh, Traveler.
Friends of ours! Allow Paimon to enter.
Kuching? Of the Chishing?
Hi.
It's not that. It's... I mean, I'm just your typical commoner. I've never met someone as high up as the Yuhang before in my whole life.
Look at that strong body, those powerful hands, and honest eyes. This guy must be old.
So, is there something I can help you with? You've come a long way out to end up at Wangshu Inn.
Let me fill you in.
Ah, okay.
Legends claim that the Stove God once appeared at the Guili Assembly. As Wangshu Inn is the oldest extant building in this area, any historical texts from around these parts are likely to have ended up. Is there a room in this inn for storing books?
Well, now that you mention it, we do have a fair few ancient texts here. I remember looking through an old recipe. If you're happy to wait here for a few minutes... Oh, Traveler, there's some...
What is it? We need to.
What? No, I wouldn't take your money. We're all friends here. I just wanted to ask if you had the time to make a satisfying salad.
A satisfying salad? What for?
Yeah, guy who hangs out on the roof terrace, you know? Good-looking fella.
Shh! Don't you think he can.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe. The boss told me to take care of him, but this guy... Let me tell you, he is one tough nut to crack. He usually turns his nose up at everything that isn't almond tofu. But the boss tells me you once made him a satisfying salad, and it all went down so well. So, I was thinking...
Oh, so this is for show!
Well, that's life, right? You gotta look out for your own... All right then, wait right here.
Plaque is tip.
Sorry for the trouble, Traveler. Okay.
Here you are.
Thank you ever so much.
While Kuching's reading her book, let's make that set.
I'd love to come watch too.
Okay,
Go ahead and get started.
that should do it.
All right, thanks for that.
You got all the steps down, right?
Of course. Don't forget, I am the best chef around these parts.
Let's go see what Kuching and Xiangling are up. Kuching, Xiangling!
You finished cooking? Good timing.
And?
Useful. There is a passage concerning the Stove God, and I quote, 60 miles to the northwest is the Guili Assembly. Many were settled there, where they hunted in groups, farmed the land, and made their living from what the soil yielded. When the Stove God descended, one god became many, all of which were the height of children. As does a star when it descends into the world, so the Stove God went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. With fire, the people at last... This is a radically different account from the one given in Demystic...
One god became many.
Taking the text at face value,
Went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. So
Now that's a god who truly cared for...
So, we've got 2 leads, but they...
by continuing our investigation, thank you for this text, Yan.
It's my pleasure, really. Think nothing of it. Listen, you've helped me an awful lot. Not just today, but in the past, too. I want to make it up to you properly, and as it happens, things are pretty quiet here today. So I'd like to take the chance to treat you all. What do you say?
wow, he sure sounds confident in his cooking. I really want to try his cooking.
It's hard to refuse a generous offer like that. Yanxiao, we await your culinary creations with great anticipation. You think you own the place.
I'll sit here with Goba.
Here we are. That's everything you ordered.
It all smells amazing! I think I've met my fellow finalist.
It smells beautiful.
Strange. I never would have guessed that such a gifted chef worked here. This inn isn't particularly known for...
Everyone likes a good meal, whether they're staying the night or just stopping by for a bite. Please enjoy your meal at your leisure.
Yanxiao, are you taking part in this?
Huh? You too?
Yup, I've signed up already, and I've got my eyes on the prize.
Huh. Interesting. All right.
What was that? Some kind of power move?
No, it seemed more sportsmanlike than that.
Yup, he's a really talented chef. His food was excellent, and it showed he has a level-headed personality. That's the kind of chef that could be a match for me. I haven't had any competitive cooking experience since my cook-off with Brooke in Springvale. You're too kind.
Globa's eating.
Those were Kuching's! How could you steal them while she wasn't looking?
Oh, my golden shrimp balls.
Huh? You ate every last one? Guoba, we've been through... I'm so sorry, Kuching. What's the big deal? We can just get another plate. It's not the same, though. The moment's gone. Sure, you can eat something else, but you can never go back and change the feeling of despair as your food is snatched. The dining experience is a trinity of emotion.
I have to say, now that you mention it, that is a very...
I'm gonna make it up to you, Kuching. Is there anything you want to eat?
I don't have high hopes for this. But equally, I don't want her feeling guilty. If you insist, there is one dish that perhaps you could...
No problem.
I'll get it to you when we're back in Liyue. Traveler, have you finished eating? Before we do anything else, let's head back to Liyue.
I wonder how much longer he'll go on for. The best way to travel.
I need to go home to fetch my grandfather.
Great! I'll go get everything ready. Traveler, what about you? Are you gonna do your own thing for...
I actually have something to discuss with her.
Okay, gotcha.
Traveler, come here for a moment. I need your advice on something.
Seriously? That's
What's so strange about it?
You're super smart, and you're always so sure of yourself. Paimon thought you'd...
Well, that's just ridiculous. Xiangling's always so warm and friendly with me. This time especially. And now she's desperate to do me a favor. So I'm just not used to dealing with people who are so warm right from the get-go. How exactly am I supposed to respond to that? Okay. Noted. Thank you, Traveler.
What's making Kuching so self-conscious? Paimon thought nobody would...
As expected of my daughter, her culinary skills are getting better and better.
Hey, we're here! Hey, grab a seat. I'm just... Oh, we're gonna do... What is it? But this is your idea. Okay, so back at Longshu Inn, we noticed you and Kuching... Yup. Kuching's good-natured and easy to be around. The kind of person... You're a braver person than Paimon. The first time we met Kuching, You think so?
I remember thinking straight away that she was really easy to get along with. Didn't you see her sneaking treats to Goba back at Wangshuin?
Yeah, she's great. We know that now. We're just talking about first impressions.
First impressions? Oh, okay.
We've eaten shellfish before, but...
Oh, you're missing out. I'll grill some for you another time. But anyway, Kuching's like a shellfish. Maybe a little closed off at first. Not to mention that even after her favorite food was stolen away, she was still happy looking after Guoba.
You make a good... You know, Xiangling's intuition for people seems really spot on.
All right, let's see. We're okay for carrots and crab, and we
Huh? What was that? No,
what's going on? What the...
it's the...
Excuse me. One shall not be addressed in such a manner. One shall be known as Adeptus, whose name, should you care to mention it, is Cloud Retainer.
Cloud Retainer? That does...
Well spoken. One shall let this young lady's enlightened... A while it has indeed been, traveler. Does one surmise correctly that you hasten hither to partake in the Moon Chase Festival? Ah, so even the illustrious traveler has been summoned to it.
The theme?
Yep, the very same. Moon Chase Festival falls during the season when many cooking ingredients are ripe. Hence, it is a fitting time to enjoy the finest of foods. Let it be known that one's culinary proficiency and ingenuity is uncontested in all the world. Thus does one...
A supreme cuisine? What?
What's a...
Patience. One's purpose here today is to meet and to greet. Nothing, traveler. You are one who has witnessed much of the culinary world. When the day comes, one would be most pleased to see you in a...
Oh, so we're officially invited?
That which is implicitly understood needs not be made explicit. I shall say no more and dwell here no longer. Await my word. Be there or beware.
This bird always disappears just as quickly as she shows up. What?
She seemed like someone very prestigious.
She definitely...
What are you all huddled together over here for?
Yay! Clutching!
Sorry I kept you waiting, Xiangling. This is the recipe from my grandfather's notes. They're not in the best condition, so rather than bring them out of the house, I just transcribed the recipe. Unfortunately, the texts my grandfather worked with were very old. Usually faded, damaged, or both. Some parts are missing from this recipe, too. Do you think you'll still be able to...
Oh, okay. Give me some time.
Sorry for the...
That voice sounds familiar.
Sorry to interrupt your conversation. I was in the area buying a few things, and I heard the disturbance.
You mean Cloud Retainer? I saw her too. She just suddenly showed up right in the middle of the street. Whatever Adeptal power...
Lady Kuching, you saw her too? Do you, have a moment?
What is it, Ganyu? Has something urgent come up while I've...
No, it's nothing work-related. I wanted to ask about... something personal.
A personal matter? Involving me?
Please, Lady Kuching? This is really important to me.
Oh, okay.
I noticed Cloud Retainer was here for quite a while. Did she say anything about...
About your childhood?
What? Really? I was getting really worried. Once she gets talking to people, she tends to go off on all sorts of tangents.
Your name didn't even come up, so you've nothing to worry about.
Kuching, how are you not asking a bunch of questions right now? There's obviously some juicy gossip here.
Please, no, don't do that to me.
Of course not. Whatever it is, I'm not curious and I'm not going to ask. If Ganyu has a secret and she wishes to keep it that way, nobody should make it their business to try and get it out of her.
Yes, ma'am. Bye,
Kuching, thank you. You're so kind and considerate. I've always seen that in you.
What's that got to do with... Honestly. Go on, you should be getting back now.
Oh my, you're right, I should. Okay, everyone, please excuse me. I should get back to work now. Take good care of Kuching for me.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Don't worry, Ganyu.
Thanks. Hope to see you again soon.
Just ignore.
Hey, everyone! I just had... It only occurred to me when that Adeptus showed up. Ooh,
I don't want to assert either.
In that case, we...
Master.
Uh-huh. She's over at...
Here we go!
Master! Oh! Madam Ping is Xiangling's master?
I did not expect that.
Master, how are you keeping these days? Are you well?
Oh, very well, thank you. What a surprise it is that you all had the time to come and visit me today.
Hello.
Master, we came here because we have a question for you. Do you know...
Of course I know the Stove God.
Does this mean you know them personally?
Ah, I see. How interesting. So you came to hear some stories about the Stove God.
That's right. We're investigating something that happened recently.
I see. The great stone surfaces. And so you open an investigation. I must commend your guesswork this far. I did indeed know the Stove God of whom you speak, but it was a great many years ago. Moonchase was originally a rite observed by the Adepti, not something in which the ordinary people of Liyue would ever partake. But over the years, on nights when the moon shone bright, everybody would get together for joyful reunions. Later, Rex Lapis unified all of these various festivals under the Moonchase name to honor an old friend of his. In short, the heavens were our witness as we vowed to the moon to come together in joyful solidarity.
Rex Lapis.
That friend made many contributions to Liyue, and Rex Lapis would not have them go unrecognized. I can only presume that the Stove God Festival...
In the hands of Rex Lapis, our nation's traditions were faithfully upheld. It is to their detriment that we must now be the ones to inherit this duty.
Ah, Kuching, I simply won't allow you to be so down on yourself. Nothing would delight Rex Lapis more than to know that those who follow in his footsteps continue to value these traditions and are working tirelessly to do them just.
Thank you.
Lady Kuching!
Huh?
Lady Kuching! Lady Ningguang wishes...
Ningguang's looking... must be important.
There she goes.
Do you want to know who Rex Lapis...
Oh! Paimon does!
Yes, precisely. There are few genuine The Stove God was a good friend of mine, too. What a pity it is that the god...
How could that happen?
It is to everyone's regret that the Stove God passed. But gods cannot be fully destroyed.
Really? Master, you must miss the Stove God a lot, right?
Yes. Thinking back on it all, there are many fond memories. I'm pleasantly surprised to find that Kuching is investigating this. She is a tenacious child, and unfortunately, however, I cannot simply give her the answer. Kuching's grandfather once researched the Stove God, and now she follows in his footsteps. Since Kuching has inherited this conundrum...
You knew...
Of course, I count all the people of Liyue among my good friends. I remember when he was the same age as Kuching is now. grandparent and grandchild are definitely made from the same mold. Both diligent enough to take on anything. I like to think of Leah as my own little potted plant. I've watched it grow and blossom. For new blossoms must bloom on the... My dears, you are absolutely right to focus your investigation on the stone. It is as you I should like to see the stone for myself if you would lead me to it. Perhaps the...
You're all here. I was just about to send someone to fetch you.
Kuching, has the stone undergone any change?
A crack has appeared in one corner, but we still can't tell what's inside.
What happened? Did someone...
More likely a natural occurrence. Our weapons have had...
How would a natural occurrence...
This is because the stove god draws power from the actions of the masses. The heat of a busy kitchen. The joy of a reunion.
All the books say the stove god is the deity of food. So is this...
Statues draw power from their people. So, if the stove god has dominion over cooking, could it be that the passion people put into their cooking gives power to the stove god? Ningguang and I chose Feast of the Bounteous Land as this year's theme, and now every chef signed up for the competition is busy preparing.
Plus, a lot of families have reunion feasts around this time. With everyone back home, the whole city's bustling with people.
So if the stone cracked because Leo has started getting festive, that must mean that when the...
That's gotta be it!
Well, we'll have...
Okay, the fact that cooking is involved gives us a perfect The selection phase of masterful chefs will be held indoor.
And when the finals end, boom! We'll get to see who the stove god really...
It's definitely a
Well, I've already signed up.
Yes, for a chef as accomplished as yourself, getting to the finals should be a breeze.
All this talk of cooking competitions is making Paimon hungry.